has been 11 games. It has been now up to 13 weeks. As you can see on the screen, here is the college football playoff bracket for the number 10. We continue to keep getting disrespected on this season. The number 10 UAB Blazers, now still undefeated, will look to see about going into a rematch if we are to punch our ticket to the college football playoff. And you can see right now would be a first round matchup there in the horseshoe against the Ohio State Buckeyes. We lost to that team in last season, if you remember. And right above us, you see Noah Fafita's team, Clemson, and the Oregon Ducks, who we faced last year in the playoffs, as well as at the beginning of this season. We faced them already. They are still very much so in playoff contention. And amongst the rest of the league, you see the usuals, the Georgia, the Texas, and surprisingly, there down at the bottom is a Pittsburgh that is now led by none other than Bryce Underwood and USC. And so rounding out the rest of the bracket right now with the last season or last week of the season here impending is Alabama and Miami at 9-2 and Notre Dame and TCU there at the top. And so we'll look at a couple of other things. As you can see on the screen, we have clinched our way into the American Conference Championship game again. All we have to do here today in this episode is beat East Carolina, get ready to win another conference championship, and then we can move on to bigger and better things around the league through 12 weeks, going into the 13th week. Although Bryce Underwood is in Pittsburgh, I misspoke. The team is still led by Eli Holstein, who is also the Heisman front runner. He will be leaving the team after this season. Maybe it will be Bryce Underwood's team. Maybe Bryce will leave. But right now, Eli Holstein has that team by the throat, and he is leading them on the charge. And so around the league as well, for some of the awards, you can see Eli Holstein again up for that award. But other than the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award, which Coach Cena is up for, along with Coach Kirby Smart and Willie Simmons down there in Florida International, as well as Pittsburgh's coach. So it is a tough race to win that Coach of the Year. Will also, as well, again, make it very interesting for Coach Cena. As you can see, his record 33-6 over 3 years, 2-1 in bowls, and as well as 2-1 over rivals, and a 4-3 overall record against the top 25. But again, it'll make it some very interesting choices as we flip through some more of the awards, as seeing what kind of offers he'll get now in the third season. I never showed him before because they were just that disrespectful. They never gave him a fair shot at getting a better job, as you see some of the around the league stuff. Before we jump into today's game, as you see our offensive and defensive coordinators right there behind Florida Internationals, still looking really good. And that'll round out the rest of the awards there with the kicking awards and the special teams and the freshmen. And so we'll jump into our last game here on senior day for the Blazers. This is the first time I've been able to record the last game of the season. Hopefully we can make it an easy one. We can get an update on recruiting before our next episode for the conference championship and see who our opponent will be. Join us in just a moment as we get into senior day. And the home fans are here in a capacity, in a heat, here for the seniors out here today as they welcome the Blazers on the field for the last time, possibly in this season. Will not host a playoff game, unfortunately, unless for some reason we are to have the opportunity to jump somebody, given what happens in the conference championships. I don't see it, but we're going to start off the game with a fake handoff there to Tabor, but the defender comes right in and gets a stop there to start the game, which is not a great start to the last game of the season here for the seniors. And so Ferguson opens up there over the middle for the first play of this game. And with perfection looming in the regular season, Coach Cena, the Blazers don't want to misstep at any point. We've said it every game since the temp. Second and 1 here for the Blazers with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the count checking in now will get his second carry of the game. The Blazers moving ahead here. Unfortunately, still not at a spot where we're getting any award recognition, but that's okay. As O'Kee will gain a few yards there. We're just worried about winning right now, winning as many games as we can. As we'll dump it now here out to Byler. And it's almost broken up there, but instead he is able to catch it for a short gain. Third and short here for the Blazers on their first drive of the game. And here we have Hooks on the outside who's able to come up with a catch. Almost shakes some defenders loose there, but gets the first game in his last appearance here in Protective Stadium. As I was saying earlier, I wish we could host a game here in Protective Stadium maybe one day, especially if Coach Cena is to stay. As you see, O'Kee will take his legs again and takes matters into his own hands and gets us up to the 13. Now handing it off to Tabor, who gets away from a defender and almost get some yards, but just stop there. Hooks, I know he has to be glad that he came back home to Birmingham to catch this last game, as Hooks will get the reception there. Here on senior day, we're trying to fight to get him in the end zone, and we'll rush back to the line because you know we're trying to get him the ball, and we're not even going to send that motion again. We're just going to rush back to the line, change that route, see if Hooks comes back open. He's shuffling through the red zone, almost catches it, but it is incomplete there to Hooks, a dangerous pass, but you know what we're trying to do. And so with that in mind, what we're also going to do here is check our senior red shirt running back into the game, Collins, here on the 1 yard line. Hand it off right here to the middle and get him a touchdown here on senior day that will extend the lead here to 7-0. Jumping around a little bit here in the game, it is 6 minutes left to go. Here in the second quarter, we have the ball here on the 18-yard line. We have the option attack here with O'Kee looking to the edge. We'll get pushed out there at the 4-yard line. And again, just like we did earlier in the game, it is time to bring our senior running back in once again. We'll get the ball to Hooks at some point. Trust me on that, viewers. Don't worry about that. We are going to make sure the city's first son does get his touches. But right now, we want to get Collins another touchdown here on the game as he is stuffed there. But no worries. We are going to rush right back to the line, call a different play. Probably the same. It doesn't matter. They can't stop it. And we'll hand it off to Collins, who goes up the middle and gets nothing. So with third and goal here now, of course, will obviously be looking Hooks' way, but he's jammed up a little bit there. And O'Kee, having to get into the end zone, rolls out and gets the touchdown there to extend the lead now to 14. 2-minute drill here pending for O'Kee in this game. Up 14, jumping ahead again in the break. I think we might have had Hooks there, but we didn't take him. We also might have had Byler, but we didn't take him. But instead, we get 7 yards there and a cloud of dust from O'Kee, who is hot already in this game. And instead, now here on second down and 3, we'll dump it down to a dive lead man on the receiving core this year. We'll be excited to see what happens with him next year, as we know he will be returning, barring any type of transfer information that we have not gotten at this point. But NIL is some type of deal. But Daisy will get a reception there. He is not a senior. He will be back, or so we hope. And so as this drive continues now with 1 minute left and the clock still going, we'll dump it down to a die. Not yet able to get the ball out there to Hooks like we would like to. He has been getting pretty frustratingly jammed up over there on his own side of the field. but we're going to continue the drive. We got to play offense first before we focus on the seniors. And it's just overthrown there to a dive. Would have been a touchdown there for O'Kee here in this game. We're so glad and fortunate that this isn't his last game here in a Blazer uniform. We are fairly certain that the NIL money that we have for O'Kee will take care of him and his family for years to come. We will make sure that him, LeCount, and O'Kee will stay. Him, LeCount, Tabor, and O'Kee will stay here for a little while longer, as well as someone like Amari Adams. And I didn't show it yet, but in the balance to come next season, we do have a 4-star receiver, gem prospect for O'Kee to come and have in Sean Devy. You guys will meet him later in the series, but he is an excellent prospect sitting at 6'2", from Mobile, Alabama. You guys will meet him in the coming episodes of the series. I can't wait to see what it will look like when he comes to this program as we get our first city son, Hooks, a touchdown here in his last game as a Blazer, extending the lead now by 3 scores up to 21. I kept saying that it's going to be a shorter than normal episode, shorter than usual, but this is just a defensive play here late in the drive. As you can see, the running back is going to get out there. A closer game than I anticipated it being here with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the game. I know I didn't show a good bit of it, but I didn't talk, so I didn't want to show it. As you'll see, the running back there gets outside, and he is upwards now to the 40-yard line. He ran the ball very well on us all game. As you can see, he's upwards over 100 yards. I thought we had this game handedly, as we were up 10-21 there for a while. As you see, Odenger there in coverage, but not able to turn his hips fast enough to get the stop there. I still think we can get the stop. We just had to punt the ball back to the East Carolina offense once more. And so now with 2 minutes left and a play action play here, you see who it is. Our defensive line getting home. That is our replacement for Jazeer Peterson, George Sims, who comes up with a big-time sack there in the moment. And with 2 minutes left to go in this last game, the fans giving us a little jolt of energy. As you can see, Van Dalt knocks that ball away from the receiver. And here, probably the play of the game, if not 2 more plays here for East Carolina. It's 3rd and 21 here. Breida, one of our players that is also a senior, will be leaving us next season and probably going home or if to the draft. But they'll just throw it outside there to Kerry Brown's direction as he comes up with the tackle. I think Kerry Brown is also another one of our seniors that will be leaving us after this season. Unfortunately, has been a very, very big part of this program, and that is a breakup there by Marshall, and that will pretty much do it, as that will put O'Kee and Tabor back on the field, and we'll hand it off to Tabor, and we'll just go down right there after getting that first down, walking up the field. No need to put it in harm's way any longer past that. LeCount now checking in with 1 minute and 20 seconds left until the perfect regular season is over. And so LeCount will just fall for it there after no gain on that play. And so 2nd 11, another tandem of running backs now with Tabor and Collins in the game. And so with that, a pitch out there to Tabor gets us a gain of nothing. And so interesting developments here on the field here on 3rd and 12. We have to first keep this ball in bounds. Second, keep the clock going. Third, get a first down, which is what Daisy will do there to end the game effectively. You see him there celebrating that first down. He is clutch. He did not get a lot of playing time with 206 reception or completions on the year as O'Kee, but that one, the most important, will salt the game away for the Blazers. And so Coach Cena, with the 12th win in his 3rd season, an undefeated season is now complete here for the Blazers. They had to have been excited all week for this game. Elijah O'Kee, you guys know what it is. He's always going to be the player of every single game in this series. I am going to have a hard time believing that one day he has to leave this team. But as of right now, he is the leader of this team, and we love to see him a part of this team. And that is another win for the Blazers, the 12th of the season, the last one of the regular season. That is senior day. Stay tuned for us just a moment as we'll progress a little bit more, probably show a little more on recruiting, as well as preview who our conference championship opponent will be. In the American Conference Championship that will be held at Protective Stadium, it will be a rematch of an early season contest. If you remember, we had that 1-point game over against Temple in week 5 in Philadelphia. This time the rematch will be in Birmingham as the 8-4 Temple Owls come to the home of the number 9 UAB Blazers, who are sitting at 12-0, and the bracket looks a little something like this right now. We still have Georgia, we still have Pitt, we still have Clemson and Ohio State. As you see, USC dropped out of that top 4, but they are still in playoff contention, as well as Alabama and Texas, who no longer has a top 4 spot. UAB now holding down the number 9 spot, looking to take on the rival of early season opponent in Duke, the North Carolina Blue Tar Heels. Notre Dame and Kansas State, they're rounding out the top of the bracket. And so, before we get out of here for this episode, we will look at recruiting, as we have done pretty well here in the regular season. Right now, we are holding the number 38 recruiting class with 8 total recruits already in this cycle. You see there on the screen, will be coming to the school next offseason. 4-star gem, Sean Devey, 6'2" route runner from Mobile, Alabama, has some great physical attributes in that possibility of a really good dev trait. And you see he is also joined by Brett Mundy, a cornerback, something that we needed here on the team. Another running back, Zach Wimbush. We do have the potential of losing Nate Rogers and Collins in this offseason, so we wanted to add a little more depth. We have Steven Stork, right guard. I think we do have to replace a right guard in this offseason. Soma Gash, we've already talked about him, quarterback, backfield creator from Brentwood, Tennessee, has that gem as well. Talia To'oto'o, our right edge rusher, pure power, just like Amari Adams, will be looking to replace Jaxon Howard when he does leave. Vernon Searles, a mic signal caller from Monroe, Louisiana, 3-star. We needed some depth, so we're going to add him. And then another quarterback in Khalid Lockett, a 3-star dual threat quarterback from Grand Prairie, Texas. So, a couple guys that we stole right from up under Mississippi State. I see them a second on a lot of lists here, but some really good additions so far in this first half of the season. Join me on the next episode as we get into the American Conference Championship. Hopefully this time it will record all the way through. As you remember last season, it was unable to complete the process after the third quarter in a very big lead game there. But nonetheless, we are right back in the same spot, potentially looking at another playoff run here for the UAB Blazers. I can't wait. I hope you can't either. It's your boy, Drism Gaming. This is Blazing a New Path with the UAB Blazers. And until the next time, I'm out.